Hello! It's time for another video, and this time it's another computer related video. This is kind of a special thing for the members of the Facebook group Retro Machines, so big shout out to everybody on there. Hello! Here we have an IBM Thinkpad, and this is a A22e. It's nothing amazingly special, but we'll have a little look at it anyway. It is the quintessential IBM Thinkpad with that lovely plastic and that simple IBM design that, until Lenovo took it over and started messing with things, it just got better over time. So let's have a little look at it. The first things first, we're on a bit of cloth here because I spent a lot of time refurbishing this machine. When I first got it, it was a complete mess. You may, if you're on the Retro Machines group, have seen some before shots. There was some human slime everywhere, and what I think may have actually have been human slime at one point as well. It wasn't overly pleasant. I still need to open the machine and do some general servicing, but I'm putting off doing that at the moment. The reason being, I've got a new 40 gig IBM hard drive coming for this machine, because the 20 gig hard drive that's in here currently, it works, yes, but it's reporting a much smaller amount than it should do, because we all know, if you've got a 20 gig hard drive, you're not going to get the full amount. It's, you're going to have some of it taken off because of the way in which it's formatted and partitioned, etc. But the drive in here, there's definitely an issue with one of the platters. Not only that, but when the machine shuts down, it makes a tremendous crunching noise. So I think this drive has pretty much come to the end of its life. Now, this machine's compatibility is, well, exceptional. This machine was released around late 2000, early XP era. So we've got an 800 megahertz Intel Celeron processor in the machine. I can't remember exactly which one it is, but we'll find out shortly. It's maxed out at 256 meg of RAM. The hard drive obviously will be upgrading to a 40 gig, which is not out of the realms of what this would have had normally anyway. And it provides us with a little bit of additional storage space, should that really be needed. But the driver support, wow, the driver support. This thing has drivers for all of its hardware natively, all the way back from Windows XP to Windows 95. And, although who in their right minds would do it, I have no idea, there is driver support for Windows Vista for this. I don't know if the drivers for Windows Vista are fully comprehensive for all of the hardware, but it just blows my mind. Windows 95 is not really period correct for this. Even Windows 98 really isn't, although Windows 98 does have complete driver support for absolutely everything. This is a Windows 2000 / very early XP era machine, so it is running Windows 2000. When I have to reinstall it for the new hard drive, again, it will be running Windows 2000, because I don't see any reason why not to be quite honest. But let's have a little look at it. So obviously the lid, there's not much here apart from the IBM Thinkpad logo. Flipping the machine around, now let's see if I can do this one-handed. This will be interesting. We have CD-ROM drive, which I found out is actually a CD-ROM drive. I thought it was a CD rewriter / DVD-ROM combo, but it turns out it's not. Not 100% sure if that's actually the correct drive for the machine. It's definitely an IBM drive, and it definitely fits perfectly, but I'm not 100% sure if that's actually the proper thing. To be quite honest, this laptop is rather heavy to hold with just the one hand. I don't know exactly how much it weighs, so please don't ask me for that because I have no idea. On the back we have an array of ports. Obviously standard Kensington lock. You've got your serial parallel VGA. There's a 56k modem. I think it's 56k. It might not be actually, but there's definitely an old dial-up modem there. 10100 base Ethernet, power supply, power port, and a single USB. I have noticed having a USB plugged in with the power supply plugged in at the same time is kind of annoying. They do hit each other, seem very squashed together. But I have sourced, for the grand total of £8 with free postage, the small docking port for this, and it's the proper one. So that will be on its way soon as well. As for the other side, if I can do this without dropping anything or breaking anything, again I'm going to have to put it down because it does weigh quite a bit, to be quite honest. You've got ventilation for the CPU, you've got your PC card slots, there's your audio jacks. Would help if the camera was pointing at it, I suppose, wouldn't it? There's your audio jacks, and that also doubles up as the hard drive caddy as well. I think the faceplate comes off and the hard drive slides out from the top, but I'll find that out when I come round to messing about with the machine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this back as it was. I'm going to do a jump cut here and plug it in. And we're back again. I'm just going to enter the BIOS. We'll have a little look at what's in there eventually when it decides it's going to do it. There we are. CMOS checks and battery. Oh, right, okay, so obviously the CMOS battery is dead. Well, that's kind of annoying. It wasn't before, but hey ho, guess it is now. I am going to cheat when we're booted into Windows 2000. I do have an external mouse because whilst I love the old mouse, the nub mouse pointer, it's not really practical for me to use it with the wrong hand and with how sensitive they can be. So let's have a little look in the config section. You can turn internal hardware on and off, etc. There is bits and pieces under the display for brightness, etc., and for connecting to an external screen. No, the extended memory test is not enabled, so the machine was probably kicking off in the background about the fact that the time and date wasn't correct then. Let's have a little look. Wow, yeah, it's not the 1st of the 1st 1980, that's for sure. So yeah, it seems that when I replace the hard drive, it may be worth opening up the machine completely and sorting out the CMOS battery. Let's just hope it's not a button cell on a cable and it's just a straight up CR2032. You can set options for password. Startup is obviously just your boot order, etc. in there. Boot mode for quick startup and things like that, and obviously we have all of the information on the machine. I have updated the BIOS to the latest version, which is 1.07. as you can see. That BIOS is from the 13th of the 6th 2003, and yeah, there's all the rest of the information for you. Not that it really matters, I suppose, but 256 meg, yay! That's fantastic, isn't it? I'm so happy about that. So let's restart the machine and we'll see how long it takes to boot into Windows 2000. I'm expecting this to take a little while, and if it takes too long then I may do another jump cut, because obviously, as I say, the hard drive does have issues. It might... I don't even know if it's going to play ball during this video, to be quite honest, as it is in quite a bad way. So, error, check date and time. Yep, not really interested, to be quite honest. Oh, please don't tell me that you're just going to... Right, okay, so let's pretend it's that. As long as it's not set to the default date and time, the machine should just boot. As I say, I'm not really that bothered about keeping this operating system. It's not the original operating system that came with the machine. The machine was had Windows XP Service Pack 3 installed, and it was an absolute goddamn mess, to be quite honest. It was appalling. So I took the initiative to flatten the machine and install Windows 2000 on there. Did an installation that I thought I would be keeping on the machine, but obviously finding out that the hard drive had got major issues. There we go. The only other thing is a little bit of light spotting on the screen, but then it is, you know, it's what, 16-ish year old TFT screen. I mean, what do you really expect, to be honest? This machine had not had the best of life, and apart from those, well, we'll say 3 issues with the light spotting, there is one other issue which is very common to this machine, and as you can see, there's a crack in the palm rest there, and it actually looks really bad on camera, but it's not as bad when you actually look at it. There's the tip of my finger for a bit of a comparison. I have found a couple of these machines that are spares or repairs, and every single one has a crack or a big portion of plastic taken out in this section. From what I gather from some archive forums and things as well, this was actually a common problem with the A22e and other models similar to it, which is a shame. I can't even figure out why it would do that, to be quite honest. Oh yes, I can. This edge of the plastic here, actually, yeah, it does bend the top here ever so slightly. So if somebody's put a little bit too much pressure on that edge while typing, for example, yeah, that could have done it. Well, that's a slight oversight in the old design there, I suppose. Windows 2000. As I say, I had to ramble about a crack in the palm rest in order to waste some time while this thing started up. As you can see, the mouse lags ever so slightly as well. Again, this is due to damaged hard drive. So let's open AIDA64. Found new hardware. Floppy disk drive. Oh yeah, I know why that is, because I disabled it when I first booted up the machine, and now it's forgotten its settings. It's re-enabled the standard hardware. Okay, well, there isn't a floppy drive connected to the machine, but there you go. What we'll do is we'll have a look at the basic system properties first, because I've got a funny feeling if I start up AIDA64, it's actually going to kill the machine. So now what was I doing? Ah, there we are. Advanced adapter. Right, okay, so it's an 800 megahertz Celeron, 256 megabytes of memory, and we have an ATI Rage Mobility M card in there, which has its own dedicated 4 megabytes of memory. This machine I have been running, a little look in the games folder, Doom 2, Monkey Island, Prince of Persia, R-Type, Wolfenstein 3D and Zool as test games, and it played them all beautifully. Apart from Wolfenstein, I can't get the audio to work, which tends to be a usual problem in that game anyway. Doom 2 is a little bit glitchy as well, but to be honest, the way in which Doom 2 was playing and having some strange issues and whatnot, again, could be down to the damaged hard drive, or at least we're going to go with it's damaged at the moment. Let's try and open up AIDA64. Now this could kill the machine. If it does, that will be the end of the video, because I'm not going to sit here and waste more time babbling on about nothing for the sake of trying to restart the machine or do another stupid jump cut. So we'll see what happens. Your registration is corrupted. Yeah, it's because of the date and time, isn't it? Great. Yeah, we won't be loading up AIDA64 because the date and time on the system is completely wrong, and I don't think I can be bothered to... oh no, let's... right, give me 2 seconds here. Let's see if we can at least get it to allow me to use the thing. I know it's April the 4th. We'll say it's 10:05. Now let's open AIDA64 and see if it works. Eventually. Or has that killed the machine? Nope, mouse is still working. One of the dead giveaways is the mouse just stops working, period. So here we go. Yay! See if I can get a little bit better light on this situation, although I'm not promising anything. So let's have a little look here. The CPU, there we are, is a Intel Mobile Celeron 800 MHz. It's a copper mine, so it is one of the later ones. We've got 128K of L2 cache. That's on die. Yeah, okay, cool. Have a little look at the memory. No, there we go, sorry. I want the SPD because I want to see who the manufacturer is. I haven't even opened the machine to have a look yet. Or, no, okay, it obviously doesn't want to read the memory. Oh, that could be interesting. Might have to stick a memory test on this, just in case. Which won't bother me too much because I do have many SD RAM modules knocking around for laptops. So that's all good. For anybody wanting to know, the model of the motherboard is an IBM 2655 EG1, and also, I'm terribly sorry, but the machine has crashed. As you can see, I am moving the mouse around, light is on, nobody's home, nothing at all. I'll use the track here. As you can see, the mouse is there and nothing at all. Nope. Well, that'll be the end of that then. So I will now have to hard shut down the machine. Awesome. Oh no, wait a minute. Will it respond enough? I'm going to have to put the camera down here. Will it respond enough for me to do that? Yes, it will. Okay. One of the other little features that I absolutely love with these old IBM machines as well is the keyboard light built into the screen. That's so cool. It is awesome. I miss things like that. You can get that on some new machines, but it's just it's so nice. Back in the day, that would have been absolutely superb to have. And as these machines were used a lot with people travelling and things, you know, low light situations and whatnot, then you can kind of see the reason as to why it was needed. But as I say, apart from that little crack in the plastic there, it is pretty much immaculate. And when I obviously have that new hard drive, then the machine will run and run well. I even have all the drivers for the original software from IBM. For example, the user's guide for the machine. The Thinkpad button here does work, or at least it does when the hard drive's playing ball. Volume keys, etc. all work. Everything lights up. All the function keys work. Everything. I am going to look out for a replacement top plastic at least to repair this if I can, and obviously I'll be looking for some period correct badges for the machine as well. I mean, okay, it's not a Pentium 3 machine, it's a Celeron, you know, Celeron, boo, but you know, it does do the job, and after all these years it must have done well because it still is as good as it is. I'm not interested because the processor is soldered to the board. It sits around here. There is no way to change it at all. However, some models of the A22e did have the Pentium 3. I could source another motherboard for it and make the machine a Pentium 3. There's not really much of a point though. Whilst there is some 1 GHz Pentium 3 boards that will fit this machine out there, I can't find any. The only Pentium 3 motherboards that I can find are again 800 MHz copper mine CPUs. So that Pentium 3 may have a little bit more cache, but that will be it. And really there's no point. I would rather work on the cosmetic stuff, to be quite honest. I really don't need another laptop that I spend stupid amounts of money on. Again, looking at you, HP 2133. Damn machine. That thing cost me way too much, both in time and money. This I would rather just get refurbished and looking good. It's an honest original laptop that, to be quite honest, I mean, I could do with a bit of a deep clean on the mouse nub there, to be honest. But I would rather just get this machine completely cleaned up, a little bit of automotive back to black or something to make the plastic nice and matte again. But I mean, even the keyboard is in great condition. I mean, there is no wear on there at all, you know. And some of these IBM laptops, they really were used very heavily, and it just surprises me really that that keyboard is in such good condition. It really does. One of the other things I can show you before we wrap this video up is, I'm going to get my magic cloth again. No, I'll just use a mouse mat. We'll have a little look underneath. So I have to put them down on something soft, because I really don't like putting plastics on bare wood, glass, metal, etc., as it just messes everything up. As you can see, the machine does have a Windows XP Professional sticker, and if you can make out what that product number is, then by all means feel free to steal it. I really don't care, to be quite honest. And it is a IBM OEM sticker as well. So maybe it's worth putting Windows XP back on this, especially if I've got an IBM OEM product key. I don't know, let me know in the description. In the comments, what do you think I should do? Windows 2000 or use the Windows XP OEM license? We'll soon see. Battery is here. I can remove it with one hand. There we are. It's the original IBM battery. This holds no charge at all in any way, shape or form. So what I'll probably do is I'll probably crack that open and replace the cells. I've been looking for a battery project, so might do that. Worst comes to the worst and it doesn't work, then I'll leave it in the machine as a blank. Yes, there is the battery. There's the CMOS battery. And it seems that it's just that one screw, and this bit of plastic here lifts out so you can unplug it. But again, it's one of those shrink wrapped CR32s with the stupid bloody wires and whatnot on it. Great. I'm assuming that's a memory door, but I don't know what that one is. I may have a PCI slot under there. And if I've got a PCI slot under there, then that means I could put an internal Wi-Fi card in it. That's going to require further investigation. Well, that's for me to go find out myself. I'm fairly sure that you guys will look online and find out that it is or it isn't, and then be able to tell me what it is. Anyway, I'm going to cut this video short because I actually want to go and get a screwdriver and find out what's under there now. So thank you very much for watching. Comment, subscribe, etc. And there's a link to the Facebook group for retro machines in the description below. Feel free to go check them out and join the group. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.